regular governing board meeting of November 9th, 2022. May you please get members present? Here.
Ms. Andrea Lee,
Here.
Mr. Vacchioli,
Here.
Clayton Coo,
Here.
and Mr. Bruswella is not present.
Thank you. Next is item 3, persons wishing to address the board on closed session items. Are there any speaker cards?
We do not have.
Nope. Seeing none, we will convene first to closed session at 7:05 p.m.
We're going to do closed session down the hall. sure I'm in the right seat. Yeah.
Thank you very much for coming to our meeting. Reconvening out of closed session, I'm reading here a statement regarding closed session. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being present tonight. The board is pleased to announce that we have concluded negotiations on the contract for a new superintendent. The board has chosen Sandra McCulloch to be our superintendent when Mr. Vidalis retires next June 2023. For anyone who might be interested, hard copies of the proposed contract are now available. If you'd like to review the agreement before board action on the contract later this evening, you may obtain a copy from Mr. Vidalis on my left here. We are also endeavoring to post the proposed contract on the district's website for your review as well, too. Cool. I will call the regular meeting back to order. Ms. Covray, may you please get members present?
Manufo Leah Inga Anawai.
Here.
Marie Bruswella is not present. Andrea Jordan. Here. Shaquille Ali.
Here.
Clayton Coo.
Here. Thank you. Next is the Pledge of Allegiance. I was going to say, Ms. McCulloch, do you want to lead us tonight's pledge?
First test. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Next item is item 10, approval of the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda. Second.
There's a first and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 That was unanimous. Next is item 11, communications. Item A, board member acknowledgement and commendations. I will start on my left. Mr. Ali.
Thank you. I'd like to commend all the faculty, staff, parents, and students at George Washington School. They had Garden Day this weekend. We put a lot of work in, manual labor, had a lot of fun. When I first showed up and I saw the youngest ones out there working, it just made me get right to work. So hats off to the school.
Thank you, everyone, for being here tonight. I actually want to thank President Koo for working alongside me to make the decision tonight, as well as my fellow board trustees. We worked for multiple days, mornings and evenings, and I'm really happy with the selection, and I'm excited for the approval on this agenda tonight.
I want to echo the sentiments of my colleagues on the board. And I also want to commend President Koo and Vice President Jordan, because this wasn't an easy undertaking in the time frame that we were given, because we were very intentional to be a part of this process, since we have been working collectively in these past few months, some of us, and even longer than that. And we thought it was important that, because of the relationship and the experience that we had together, that we jumped in the fire and ensured that this process happened diligently. We followed the process to the T, and we want to thank everyone that applied. It's really important that we commend those that wanted to jump in the fire and take a shot at this position. But we are very grateful to have come to a decision that we're celebrating this evening. And I'm just very grateful to work with, I say this all the time, but I have to say it again, especially as we celebrate you this evening and Miss Bruswella, is that absolutely grateful to work with brilliant folks who continue to give of themselves. So we came to the decision as a collective, and we're just very, very grateful to celebrate that this evening. But I'm also wanting to say thank you to those who took advantage of getting out to vote this past election season. And as a woman of color, I speak loudly to that because I've had parents, a father who fought, for this country to ensure that I had that right to be at the ballot box. So I want to thank our teachers who speak about it in our classrooms and the level of importance that brings these decisions to the local jurisdiction that we live in. So I am very grateful for the opportunity to serve and be here this evening and celebrating you and Ms. Bruswella and all the work that you've done in our district and in our communities.
Well, thank you. I'll keep my remarks brief. Thank you for everybody for attending tonight, and thank you to everybody who voted last night. It sounds like there's still lots of ballots to be counted, so just thank you everybody in the community for turning out to vote. Next item is item 11B, superintendent comments.
I will reserve my comments for later. Thank you.
Next item is item 12, general functions. 12A, consent agenda. The administration recommends approval of the start items on the rest of tonight's agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
First and a second, may I please get a roll call?
Miss Leah Inga Anawai,
Aye.
Miss Jordan,
Aye.
Mr. Ali,
Aye.
Mr. Koo.
Aye. That was unanimous. Next item is item 12C, resolution number 22-11-09 to excuse Shaquille Ali from special board meeting on October 13th, 2022. Pursuant to Education Code 35129C, the board will consider a request for passage of a resolution to excuse Shaquille Ali's absence on October 13th, 2022 due to hardship.
I'll make the motion to approve the resolution number 22-11-09 to excuse Shaquille Ali from special board meeting on October 13th, 2022.
Second.
There's a first and second. May I please get a roll call?
Miss Leah Inga Anawai,
Aye.
Miss Jordan,
Aye.
Mr. Ali,
Aye.
Mr. Koo.
Aye. That was unanimous. Next item is item 12D, resolution number 22-11-09A to excuse Manufo Linga Anawai from special board meeting on October 13th, 2022. Pursuant to Education Code 35129C, the board will consider a request for passage of a resolution to excuse Manufo Linga Anawai's absence on October 13th, 2022 due to hardship.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 22-11-09A to excuse Manufo Liaga Anoa'i from special board meeting on October 13th of 2022.
Second.
There's a first and second. May I please get a roll call?
Miss Leah Inga Anawai,
Aye.
Miss Jordan,
Aye.
Mr. Ali,
Aye.
Mr. Koo.
Aye. That was unanimous. Next item is item 12J, approval of superintendent employee agreement. The governing board will consider approval of an employment agreement with appointed candidate for superintendent effective July 1st, 2023. So our next agenda item concerns the proposed contract for Sandra McCulloch as district's superintendent for the upcoming school year. The law requires the board to briefly summarize key contract terms prior to board action. The key terms of the contract are as follows. The term of the contract will be for 3 years from July 1st, 2023 to June 30th, 2026. The superintendent's salary will be $252,000 per year, subject to an annual increase if the superintendent receives a positive evaluation. The amount of the annual increase will be $5,206 in year 2 of the contract and $5,206 plus a COLA determined by the CPI. $5,206 is approximately 2% of the superintendent's base annual salary. The superintendent will be entitled to a 5% longevity increase in year 11 as superintendent. Health insurance will be provided on the same terms as provided to other certificated managers. Term life insurance will be term life insurance will be provided on the same terms as provided to other certificated managers. The superintendent's work here will consist of 222 days. And lastly, the superintendent will receive a coaching stipend of up to $5,000 to be spent in the first year of her employment. Is there any discussion or comments, or Mr. Vidal, is there, or I guess, are there any speaker cards first, maybe? The speaker cards, cool. Any comments from board members?
I'll give my comments after the vote.
Any comments? If there are no comments, I will entertain a motion on this item.
I move that we approve the superintendent employee agreement for the appointed candidate, Sandy McCulick.
Second.
There's a first and a second. May you please get a roll call?
Miss Leah Inga Anuai,
Aye.
Miss Jordan,
Aye.
Mr. Ali,
Aye.
Mr. Koo.
Aye, that was unanimous. Congratulations, Mr. Kulik.
Mr. Koo, before I make my comments, will you step to the front here? We're going to do a little signing ceremony. We have to make the space a little bit Instagram friendly, so just give us 5 minutes.
Watch your back on that. Yeah. You got 6 months more to go.
Have 6 months of sick leave.
Yeah, right. 60 days of industrial leave.
Take a picture.
I'm a notary, if you need someone.
Congratulations.
Ms. McCulloch, if you have any remarks, please feel free to go ahead.
You need a little.
Oh, yeah.
Is this on? Oh, perfect. Thank you all for being here. Full crowd, a little nerve-wracking a little bit. It's great. I am honored to serve as the next superintendent for the Jefferson Elementary School District. I promise to stay true to my core values of equity, communication, collaboration, and compassion. I am extremely grateful for the long onboarding process with Superintendent Vidalis and to ensure a smooth transition so that we can continue his work of bringing the Jefferson Elementary School District to the next level. As many of you know, I recently returned to the Bay Area from fulfilling a lifelong dream of living and working overseas in Southeast Asia for the last 3 years. Although this happened during a global pandemic, I did gain some strategies and some ideas and some knowledge about globally minded education, and that is what I want to bring to this role as a leader. I am a Bay Area native. I attended schools throughout San Mateo County, and I spent the first 14 years of my career in San Bruno Park School District as a principal and a teacher. And prior to my work internationally, I was here, as many of you know, in Jefferson Elementary School District for 8 years as Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services. I am so happy to return to Jefferson Elementary School District and look forward to re-engaging with the community, with the teachers, with the staff, with the administrators, with students, and with families to bring about beacons of inspiration in our schools. And so I'm really looking forward to reconnecting with everyone. On a personal note, I want to thank my husband, Mario, who's watching live tonight, for his constant support and encouragement. Little fact, he is a Jefferson Elementary School District alumni. Very proud. He went to JFK and TRP, so it's a little extra special for us. I know election results are still to be finalized, but I want to congratulate the new board and new trustees and re-elected trustees, and I look forward to getting to know our new trustees, as well as working alongside our trustees that I do know very well. And I also wish the best for our departing trustees. President Koo, you will be missed. And also, of course, Trustee Bruswella. And everyone, I am just really thrilled to be here. Feel privileged for this role. And I thank you all for your confidence in me as I take on this important role for the community. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. McCulloch. I was going to say, Ms. Vidalis, do you have any comments?
Yes, of course. So I just wish to extend my congratulations to Sandy McCulloch. It makes me feel very confident leaving leadership of the school district to Ms. McCulloch. Some of you know I have experience transitioning out and Ms. McCulloch stepping in. I held the position that she held when she left just prior to becoming superintendent. So I look forward to the next 6 months of transition planning and having a smooth transition for the school district. The reason I announced so early was because I wanted to make sure that there was that time. And I know that transitions are turbulent times for school districts, and I just didn't wish that for us. And I wanted to make sure that we could do this in a stable way, because that's what I do. Stable Bernie. So congratulations again, and I look forward to continuing the transition planning.
Thank you. Any comments from board members? Ms. Linganaway, comments?
I've shared some of my sentiments, but I do remember meeting you in the community many years ago as a PTA mom and coming in and seeing you at the schools when I was with the Health and Literacy Fair Committee with Ms. Pace. And from there, I felt your energy. And then I was very fortunate and privileged to be able to get to know you a little bit better when I came onto the board. And what I've always found from you and of you is that you are always very thoughtful in how you engage, not just with the community, the staff, and that you actually held my hand as I came on as a new board member and wanting to just know the details and the intricacies of this system and this level of governance that we belong to. And that's the energy that I want to continue to count on, that level of inclusivity. We are in a time that we are challenged in our schools and in our communities, and people need to be able to see themselves in the leadership that guides us in this district, not just in the learning, but in the positivity that is needed. And I see that in you, and I'm very grateful, Ms. McCulloch. And I'm grateful that we have the opportunity, as mentioned by Superintendent Vidalis, to allow you to have a level of mentorship during this transition process, because many times we aren't allowed that opportunity. And you get this chance to learn from someone who we have admired during my tenure here. So I think we're very fortunate that that is in your transition plan, that we get to know that you will be able to gain some more foundational support as you lead our district into greater things. So congratulations and welcome to this new role. Thank you. Thank you for your investment in our students, our community, and our district.
Any other comments?
So I recently met Sandy through the interviewing process where everyone else had already had a relationship or had experienced, you in action. And similar to my fellow trustee, immediately you had an energy. I commanded the room. You were very personable, and through the interview process was very formal. And I was like, well, who are you outside of doing your day to day? And I was able to see that. And I know we've talked a lot over the last couple of days. And I'm just really excited for, what you're going to bring to the table. You're a visionary, as what I've seen from the conversations that we've had. And you've been able to answer a lot of the questions that I had with regards to you stepping into this role. And I'm excited for other people to see what you're going to be doing in this district and how you're going to take us to the next level, especially in times where we're thinking about, declining enrollment, and we just implemented our equity statement, and just so much. We're doing workforce housing. There's just so much going on, and so I'm excited for what you're going to bring to the table, and working alongside you and serving together to move our district in the right way. Thank you. Congratulations again.
Good evening, Ms. McCulloch. I'm glad to see you again. We met each other before you were formally working for the district, and I wasn't on the board yet, and we were both just in the community. I can't remember what the meeting was about because we've been in so many, but I know I've been in the trenches with you. I've seen you spearhead, advocating for community schools, collaborating in a positive way with the administration. I've seen you take on the responsibilities and duties of the LCAP and, explaining all those things to us. And I have total confidence in your abilities and your willingness to learn what you don't know, your relationship with Bernie. So I'm ecstatic that you made that decision to come back and that we were able to hire internally. So thank you so much for being here.
I also want to extend my congratulations and welcome as the incoming superintendent. I might not get a chance to get to work with you as much since I'm on my way out, but I know that our fellow board members, as well as the school district, is going to be all behind you in your success. So I just want to wish you all the very best. And I look forward to seeing what great things you would do for the school district as well. That next item is item 17A, proposed board meeting dates for 2023. Oh, sorry, my bad. One more thing. I apologize. I just want to recognize some of the dignitaries in attendance in tonight's meeting. Ms. Teresa Fabua, trustee for the Bayshore Elementary School District. Ms. Pamela DiGiovanni, council member for the city of Daly City. Ms. Rosie Tejada, president of the Jefferson Union High School District Board of Trustees. Ms. Kalima Salahuddin, trustee for the Jefferson Union High School District. Ms. Carla Ann Garrett, trustee for the Jefferson Union High School District as well, too. Mr. Paul Hagan, president of AFT 3267. And Ms. Alia Chisti, a board member for the City College of San Francisco Board of Trustees. Thank you for coming tonight. So next item now is item 17A under board governance matters, proposed board meeting dates for 2023. The board will review and discuss proposed board meeting dates for 2023 to be voted on at the December 14th, 2022 meeting. Mr. Vidalas.
Yeah, so attached to your agenda item are the proposed board meeting dates for next year. You will be voting on these and approving them at the reorganization meeting in December. But as has been our practice, we give a heads up. Let me know if there are some significant conflicts and we can adjust them now.
Any discussions or issues of proposed dates? Seeing none, I guess we will proceed with those dates at the December 14th, 2022 meeting. Next item is item 18, persons wishing to address the board. This portion of the agenda is available for individuals to comment on or address the board on any issue that is under the board's jurisdiction and not on the agenda. Maximum time allowed for any speaker is normally 2 minutes. Are there any speakers?
No speakers on this item.
Okay, cool. Seeing none. Item 19 is governance team member comments, reports, and board meeting reflections. I will start on my right. Ms. Linga on Awe. Sorry, Ms. Linga on Hawaii.
I don't have any updates, and I actually want to hold my reflection for our special recognition.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Ms. Jordan,
Also holding until the next.
Mr. Ali,
I just want to say we did a good job of keeping our remarks concise.
Superintendent Dallas.
That's the same norm that I thought we could reflect on, keeping our remarks concise, especially for the next item.
I will also echo my colleagues' nice, simple, concise, short meeting. I'm not going to complain at all. Next item is item 20. I will pass this item actually over to Vice President Jordan to lead.
So this is the interesting part of the night where I may cry. So we're going to item 20, special presentations. We are going to be recognizing the retiring board members, Marie Bruswella and Clayton Coo. I would like to start off with doing a board member at a time. So if you would make sure that if you have 2 comments, you may have to speak twice. So I want to start off with President Coo, and I would like to open it up to my fellow trustees for any comments, and then we'll open it up to the public. I will start on my left.
Thank you. I gotta take this off again. Clayton, you stepped up, you showed out, you showed up and showed out. No, I'm really glad to have worked beside you all these years. You came at a good time when I was transitioning out of being an officer and, going back to school to get my credential and master's. And you showed up to everything. So you took my place in that regard. And I'm so glad because it makes our schools feel more secure and know that we're paying attention and that we're listening and that we care. You were diligent. You took your time to go to all the Masters in Governance trainings from CSBA. Eventually stepped it up and took over the president position, I believe at least twice, right? And everybody knows you've committed yourself. You're a product of this district and this community. And we just hope you're not trying to get away from us and go too far. I have no idea what you're gonna do, but I know hopefully you'll still be around to help out. So thank you so much.
I'm trying not to get emotional because outside of this, you're a dear friend. You really are. Ooh, give me a moment. I'll share a little story. In 2015, Clayton and I were vying for this seat. And I share that in a good way because he's a collaborator. And I actually won the appointment and kept the seat that I still serve in today. But when he saw an opportunity to come onto this board the next round, he took advantage of that because he was committed to ensure that his voice and his leadership could sit here with us. And I'm glad you didn't give up. I'm glad that that first round, we speak of timing, that only allowed for one of us that evening. But when the opportunity came, you knew that you wanted to be a part of this work, and you didn't sit back. You jumped right in and made sure that you were seen and given the opportunity to shine. And that's the collaboration that we have here. And that's the collaboration we need in every decision-making space. And that's what we learned from you. You're humble. Your humility resonates with me, and I know with many. You are a servant leader. I try not to be condescending because you're the same age as my kids. So when I talk to you, I try not to talk to Clayton. I'm like, wait, this is my colleague. But your intelligence, your vision, and your commitment, and as a youth developer, those characteristics rise to the top. You know, and I know that Trustee Ali, we're in that, that's our lane. And you are the type of leaders that we see in our youth, our younger generation, that we want to cultivate, to be in these spaces, to help us to see growth from your perspective. And these stripes that I've earned have helped me to learn and open myself and my mind to the new trends and the new mindset that you have brought to our board. I see you everywhere. If there is a gap in our community and in our county, trust me, you will see this gentleman there. What do you need? What do you need? Clayton is there. And I'm saying Clayton, but, you know, Honorable Trustee President Clayton Coo, it has been my honor to be in this work with you, my dear friend. I know that there's only greatness to continue to come from you. And may we all learn from how you have modeled, you know, authentic, genuine, humble servant leadership. Bravo, job well done.
So the first time I met Clayton, he was knocking on my door telling me he wanted to be on this board. And I was like, who are you and why are you here? But that was, I don't know, maybe 2 cycles ago of elections. And Clayton has been just, I would say, at the forefront of the reason why I'm also on this board. When I decided to join the board, who did I call? I'm like, so if I do this, what's going to happen? And he was just very honest. He was very open, very passionate about what he does. And I echo my fellow trustee. He's everywhere. He's helping out with campaigns. He's helping out with bond measures. He's helping out with just everything that our community needed to move it forward. And that's, to my fellow trustees' point, at his age, wanting to do that, not having any children, not having no true ties to a school district, he did it anyway. And I think that is so commendable, to have people in our community that see a need, see a void, and try to fill that void. And Clayton, you did that for us. I'm grateful that I was able to serve, even if only for 2 years with you. I'm very sad about you moving on, but I'm also very excited for what you're going to be able to achieve. I have your number. You're not going anywhere. I am really excited for the next steps that you're going to take, and hope that you will continue to lead your voice and lend your voice to the things that we're doing in this community, because it's needed and we need you. So thank you, Clayton.
So before we take comments from our members of the audience, I just would like to say thank you for the last 7 years. They've been great. I could say a story about your first time at CSBA, but I won't. Well, maybe just a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay, I'll do the one. So there's an open reception, and they have a bar, and Clayton was in line with me to go get a glass of wine, and they said he can't have one because he's not 21 yet. I'm like, he is. Show him your ID. So that was a funny, and actually that was at Lozano Smith. So there's another connection to Lozano Smith, who helped us with developing the employment agreement with Ms. McCulloch. So in 2015, when you were elected, I was just trying to remember, like, Barack Obama was president. He was finishing out his second term. Governor Jerry Brown was finishing out his second term the second time. So I think there's like precedent for you to consider coming back on the board after a couple of years. I mean, those are the stars under which you were born. So you can live that out. So we look forward to that. And gas prices were $2.55. So see what you've done? You've like doubled, maybe tripled our gas prices in your 7 years.
I'm sorry.
You've presided on the board, and many of you have with him, you know, during some of the most challenging and change-invoking times in education, California education. And I have been grateful for your steady hand and for your ability to help navigate during some of these more turbulent times. I can't lie, I will be sad to see you go. I begged you to stay for 6 more months. Can you please just stay until I'm done and then you can resign in July? I don't know how many times I begged, but you did not. I will remember that. But I do know that, you know, during these 7 years, you've become a friend, like Ms. Liangano Ai has mentioned. I wore my Cal tie for you. And if you know me, you know that I did not wear this at all. I think, you know, unless I want to pretend to be like Republican or something. But sorry about that. But, you know, I think, you know, when I wear this now in the future, I'll always think of you, you know, and I will even say it for you. Go Bears.
Go Bears.
That's the last time. Remember that. Yeah, I look forward to, you know, see how our friendship continues to grow in the years ahead. And I know, you know, it's what I said to Ms. McCulloch when she left, you know, like, never say goodbye. We'll say until next time, because paths always continue to cross. So I look forward to see where those paths lead us. I do have some certificates from our local electeds that I'd like to give to you. We can read, maybe I'll give one to each board member and you can read them for Mr. Koo. Mr. Ali, would you like to start?
Gotta put my glasses on. Certificate of Recognition, Clayton Coo, Jefferson Elementary School Board. I hereby award this certificate of recognition in honor of your work as a member of the Jefferson Elementary School Board. Your contributions as a community member and leader have made a significant impact on the youth in our community. Thank you for your leadership. Scott Wiener, Senator, 11th District.
Certificate of Commendation. The City Council of City of Daly City takes pride in presenting this commendation to Clayton Coo. In recognition of your retirement from the Jefferson Elementary School Board, your of dedication to the students and residents of Daly City is commended and appreciated. The City of Daly City extends sincere congratulations and best wishes for success and personal satisfaction in all your future endeavors. Awarded this day.
We have the California Legislative Assembly Certificate of Recognition for Clayton Coo, Jefferson Elementary School Board member. Honoring Clayton Coo upon his retirement as a Jefferson Elementary School Board member. Your dedication to advancing the priorities and well-being of Jefferson Elementary School and your instruction and mentorship of students is truly commendable. May you continue to succeed in improving education and making a difference for all students. Congratulations on this momentous occasion. Phil Ting, Assembly Member, 19th District.
And we also have a couple of gifts for you on behalf of the district to thank you for your year of service as president and your retirement from our board. So, Ms. Varai, will you help me?
Stanford guy.
I do love the colors.
May I ask Superintendent Vidalis if you have a binder of board policies that was his favorite part of our
They are all
meetings.
digital and electronic now, so I will continue to ask him to review.
If you need another citizen member to look at it, I'll gladly look at it for the board's behalf. Just a gavel. Thank you. Andy Jefferson Elementary School District pen. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to give the ability to the public to speak. So speakers are customarily limited to 2 minutes. We welcome your input and remarks. Please address the board only on the items within the board's jurisdiction. And the first person that I'm going to call is Rosie Tejada.
In our district, we're given 3 minutes. So I met Clayton. I met you in 2013. We worked on Relay for Life together. The first meeting when I saw you, I just knew you were a go-getter. And when you applied for the vacancy, I remember telling the board the board here that you have the opportunity. Everybody should have a Clayton Coo, but you have the opportunity to have the Clayton Coo. And then in 2015, I was really proud to serve as your campaign manager. I even paraded in my Coo-mobile with your signs plastered on the side of my car. And I have just been so proud of the education leader that you've become. I'm proud to say I was your mentor, but it was a very short time. And I've enjoyed, you're part of my family. My son, Evan, sends his best wishes. I asked Carly, who's a freshman at NYU, if she had anything to say to Clayton for his last day, and affectionately, she said no. And that's because since she was 9 years old, you were her arch nemesis always, but with affection. And so I'm just so proud to call you my friend. And you've done such great things for this community and for education in general. And I'll see you. And remember, Carly does not say hi.
The next person I'm going to call is Pamela Giovanni.
Good evening. Well, Clayton, the word retirement, I don't know about that word when it fits to you, but I do remember, like Rosie, when you were on the corner and your father was standing there. And if you remember that, people thought it was your father that was running and not you, that you were the student. And we had to explain to everybody, no, this is Clayton Coo. This is Clayton Coo. Well, you're still that same bright, warm, loving person of integrity. And I can say that because as well as Rosie and them, you and I are close friends, and we have been through everything together, and you're always there endlessly for everybody, helping there with your compassion and your integrity. So as you came into this seat, you're still that person. You are still that person. That says a lot about the value system that you have, the value system that we all should stay in our value system, and your leadership skills. You serve humbly, quietly. I know you don't like public recognition. I remember that extremely well. But tonight, we celebrate you. We celebrate you because it's celebrating us. The teachers have been benefited from him. Everyone in this room has benefited from him, as well as Bernie and everyone else here. We've all benefited from your heart because you serve with your heart. And that heart is Clayton Coo heart. No one can emulate your heart. Right, Matt? Because there's one Clayton Coo, and that is you. So on to your next adventure. And yes, obviously, even a few minutes ago, we were on the phone. So he doesn't venture very far because we will not allow him. But you have done so much for this district, education. You're at every event, like everyone says, like Trustee Shaquille said, and that is a blessing. And I know that we see you everywhere. You serve our city on our bike ped. You serve everything with heart. You're at a Make a Difference Day. You're everywhere serving everything, but you don't do it for recognition. And that's what makes you, you. Clayton Coo, we celebrate you.
Thank you. The next person I'm going to call is Teresa Papua.
Gosh, it's so hard to be standing on this side of the board. Clayton, I know you for some good time now, and I don't call him Clayton. I call him Clay Clay. He's my Clay Clay, and he's my IT guy. And I'm here on behalf of the PIT, Pacific Islands Together, and Miss Reina Mefua. Send her tremendous love and appreciation when you come and help us with the food harvest. You know, you take over. You know, you were the guy that leads everything. I don't have any fun stories for Clay, but I can congratulate you for all the hard work, you know, and for being there. I even saw you as the photographer for DCPLA on Saturday, so you're pretty much everywhere. But I wanted to tell you that we have a vacant seat on libraries trustees for the city, so yeah, we would like to have you. I also want to congratulate Bernie. You know, it's sad to see you, and it's so beautiful to see you working together with our former Superintendent, Dr. Pittman, and you brought some huge insights and impact in our community. So I congratulate you. And also Miss Marie, I know that we're saying farewell for her today too. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you. The next person I'm going to call is Ruth.
Hi, I'm a parent of Jefferson Unified School District, and I met Clayton during an uncertain time, which was during the pandemic. And so I just met him a few years ago. I met with him, and he's just been a really great person to be with. We talk about other subjects. We talk about the school. We talk about what we want to do in the district. We talk about our work. And I just want to say thank you so much. From the school board to the blocks of Daly City, you were there. You walked and you did everything that you could, for our food drive. And just a reminder, we have our food drive this Saturday, so hopefully I'll see you there. But I want to thank you. I know you've done a lot. I heard a lot of wonderful things tonight, and I just want to congratulate you and commend you for all the work that you've done. Congratulations.
Thank you. The next person I'm going to call is Carla.
I probably would take more than 2 minutes to give you all the accolades that everyone else is giving, but you know how much I appreciate you, and coming from not just a colleague from another school district, but coming from as a parent in this school district. Thank you for all you've done for my kids, coming to all the events. When I first met you, I was like, where are your kids at? Why are they not at this event? And why are you here? So if you do decide to come back here to the Jefferson Elementary School District, I hope that you actually will have some children here too, to behind you. But all seriousness aside, I really appreciate everything you've done for me personally, for supporting me in my role as a trustee in the high school district, for all the conversations that we've had, the camaraderie that you've given me, all the support, all the friendship. I really appreciate you so much, and I'm definitely here for you before and after and during, and whatever endeavors that you will take on in the future. So anyway, I won't take too much more time, but thank you, Clayton.
Thank you. The next person I'm going to call is Kalima.
Hello. Just a hi to the board here. And one of the things I love about this district and listening to Teresa is that, we all work so collaboratively together. I don't know any other school districts, the feeder district and the high school district, where we all have such a great relationship. And everybody comes with that spirit of the students are actually first. Like people say it all the time, but we all live it. And Clayton, you're the embodiment of it, and you just embody that. If you looked up, don't judge a book by its cover, like that term in the dictionary would be a picture of you, because you were constantly underestimated. But I'm like, don't let that cute smile fool you. There is a vast wealth of knowledge. There is a tremendous heart and a spirit that, I try to match all the time in public service. You have a true service heart. You are here for the work, and you never look for acknowledgement, ever. And a lot of people don't know how much work that you've done, not just here, but at the county level, because I was struggling. I was the only member on the San Mateo County School Board Association from the north side of the county. They denied our voice. They didn't listen to us. And I went to you and I said, I need your help. And you got yourself elected. You shocked them all. And I loved watching every minute of it. It was amazing. And then together, able to elevate us so that we were able to get more people to join. You ran for delegate assembly and did that. So making sure that we, as people of color, as people in the north side of San Mateo County, people forget that we're here and don't include us. And that is a denial of our students' rights, and you ensure that that would never happen again. I can't thank you enough for all the work that you did during the pandemic, not just at the food bank, but you would volunteer at the food bank and then walk over and join me and help out with testing. So you'd be there all day. I don't know many people that would do that regardless of their age. So I can't thank you enough for the work that you've done for the community. I love you.
Thank you. The next person I'm going to call is Alfonso Marquez.
All right, hi. As the president of the Clayton Coo fan club, we want to thank you, Clayton, for all the work that you've done. I think many people talk about you not having children, and I think as an alumni myself at this district, and you as an alumni, I think we bring a brand new perspective that not many people maybe recognize because we've lived through it, and we want to make things better. You've been there for the community. You've made me proud as a Cal alum too. Go Bears. And yeah, I mean, I'll keep it short, but you've slayed. Yeah, so we don't call you Clay, we call you Slayton. So Slayton, we don't know what's next for you, but we know you're only gonna go high from here. So yeah, keep Slayton.
And the last person that I'm going to call is Aaliyah Christie.
Good evening. Oh my gosh. I was supposed to write some talking points, but I didn't. But thank you for having me. My name is Alia Chisti, and I serve on the City College of San Francisco board. And I am the first Muslim woman or person to be elected in any capacity in San Francisco. So the first Muslim person. And I want to tell you how I made it to this board. And I thought I was going to come here and tell you this unique story about like Clayton helping me, but he helps everybody is what I've learned tonight. So I don't really have a unique story, but I will tell you about my journey of when I was thinking about running for the college board. And lo and behold, my best friend introduced me to Clayton. And I remember the first conversation that I had with Clayton, and I was like, should I do this? Like, what about my life? Like, I'm going to age, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, you can do it and you should do it. And, you know, I thought it was just going to be a conversation. I was probably like never going to talk to him again after that. And he helped me every step of the way. Like people did not expect me to win. And I think my secret sauce was Clayton. And there was a point where I actually was going to quit. Like I couldn't handle the stress of it. And I think Clayton dragged me to the finish line and we won. And then once I won, I was alone and I was like, I don't know what to do. And his mentorship to me has been be present in the community. And in SF politics, you can kind of like, oh, let me go meet the supervisor or the state senator or whatever. But Clayton's message to me was be in the community, be in the school, be in school events and show your solidarity. And that is your North Star in centering you and why you're doing this. So Clayton, thank you for your service. You are a gem in the community, and you have not only made an impact in the lives of students in Jefferson Elementary School District, but in the greater span of our democracy. So thank you.
I don't have any other speaker cards. Is there anyone else that would like to speak on this item?
Mr. Koo needs to have some words.
Yes.
So is it my turn, talk? I just want to first just say thank you. Thank you for the incredible honor and privilege to get to do this job for the past 7 years. I want to first, though, express a special set of thanks to all the speakers tonight, but also a couple of particular people specifically. First off, I want to just thank my family, especially my dad, my mom, my sister. My mom's in the back. She doesn't like the attention, so I know why she's there. Thank you for all of your ongoing and endless love, support. The only way that you guys can offer it to me. You don't know how many times it's come in handy, so just want to express my thank you for that. Secondly, there's a lot of people in this group. My friends, there are lots of them along the way, and specifically just my coworkers from the past 7 years. I've worked at a ton of places over the past 7 years as a school board member, actually, from my coworkers at Storefront, Lyft Agency, Wavemaker, Glue, and Bumble. Thank you for enduring my endless school board stories and experiences, dealing with my often busy schedule and trying to plan things around it, helping me make serving as a school board member possible, whether it's helping me out outside of work or during work, and being there for me whenever I needed someone to lean on to get some just pure honest advice on how best to sort of do my job as a board member. Next, my fellow board colleagues. present, and past. I will also say it's been an incredible honor and privilege just to get to sit and work with all of you for the school district. You've all taught me what leadership looks like. And in many ways, there are many ways to do that and achieve that. And it comes with a mix of passion, motivation, dedication, and just love for the community and the schools. So I just want to say thank you for all that you've taught me along the way as well. Next, I want to thank my fellow board members and elected officials from across San Mateo County, the Bay Area, and California, including those with the San Mateo County School Board Association and CSBA. They've been able to help me provide knowledge and expertise to help me do a better job. And more so, create friendships, build connections, form lifelong memories that have transcended just being a board member, but in a more personal setting. So thank you for all of you for that as well too. The countless organizations, volunteers, community leaders, ordinary citizens, and the voters of the school district who helped get me to this position. There are way too many of them, of you all to list out, but I just want to let you know that I'm very grateful for believing in me every step of the way when I first ran back in 2015, again in 2018, and finally tonight at my last school board meeting. Your small act has changed my life in so many ways, and in many ways for the better. So thank you for that as well too. Last and certainly not least, the students, the parents, the teachers, staff, administrators, associate superintendent, Superintendent Vidalis, you are all the livelihood and the energy of this school district community. Thank you for teaching me so much along the way, even when you didn't think that you were actually teaching me at all. Thank you for opening your schools, your classrooms, your school events to me, and embracing me as part of your school district community, even as Ms. Jordan says, I don't have kids or am a parent as well too. Along the way, as a school board member, I think we all learned this. You learn that your own success is only possible behind the incredible work of people all around you. And I'm very grateful to have those people in our school district working across all of our schools to make sure that they're doing the vital work of actually our students and teaching education so that our future leaders are ready to actually lead tomorrow. I personally never thought I would get a chance to do this job for one day, and let alone 7 years. I still don't believe it. And for this opportunity, I'm forever grateful and thankful and appreciative, just because I feel at times I am not the ordinary person who should be in the seat. I just don't fit the mold, the criteria, the description of a board member. But I will personally say, because of this opportunity, I am a better person and honestly, just a better citizen. Someone more informed, more prepared, and more knowledgeable to help bring about change in my community. As things have changed for me personally and around the world, there's been at least one constant in my life, and it's getting to do this job every day for the past 7 years. And wow, what an adventure it's been. So thank you so much again. And one last thing I want to say before I finish my remarks. For the past 7 years, one thing that I've really appreciated as a board member is attending our middle school's graduations. And as a board member, we all get the opportunity to provide our remarks 2-3 minutes within public comment limits. Honestly, it's my favorite event of the year every year, just because of what it means to me, but also means for our students, their families, just because those graduations mean a lot in terms of future success and just future development. And along the way, some of those speeches have definitely changed and flowed. But for me, I've always made sure to include one important theme and message, and I make sure it's included every single time, and pretty much roughly goes something like this. So I always say, in some ways, plus or minus stuff, as a famous student once said years ago, life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it. And I say, so remember to sit back, look around, take in the sounds, and enjoy the little or big things in life, including this kind of moment. It might not mean much to you today, but you'll definitely appreciate it many, many years from now. For me, this is one of those moments. So thank you for creating that moment for me. I wish the school district all the very best. Wish my fellow colleagues, as my future colleagues, all the very best as well too. And thank you to all of you. I know we're all in very good hands with Ms. Vidalis and Ms. McCulloch, and I'll be proudly cheering you on as just an ordinary citizen, making sure that you guys can succeed the best that you can. So thank you.
Well, thank you, President Koo, for all your service. So the next person that we are going to be recognizing tonight is our fellow trustee, Marie Bruswella. She is not here tonight. However, I do want to still make comments and our commendations for her. So I'm going to start off on my right this time.
I hope you're watching, Marie. And if not, the recording's always available for you. Good evening again. Trustee Bruswella, I'm smiling because there's a lot to say, Marie. There's a lot to say, a lot of good stuff, because I've learned so much from you. As a mother of 6, as an aunt of hundreds of kids that have come through this district, she's been on the stage giving diplomas to all of my kids. That's how long she's been serving. And then to be able to sit next to someone who is really an icon in this educational space, I'm filled with gratitude, because she's always shown up as her authentic self. And I will continue to raise this. As a woman of color, I'm not always allowed to do that. I sit with Code Switch and understand that I can't always show up as my authentic self, especially in spaces like this. But what Marie, I call her Marie because I'm talking to her now as my friend, not as my colleague, but a friend, because those were the moments that she demonstrated to me her level of leadership, because she was able to speak her truth. We did not always agree. That's the honest truth. But what she learned from me, I believe this, Trustee Bruswella, is that I brought my culture into this space. And when I first came on the school board, and we were reorganizing December 2015, she learned a little bit about me, because I was nominated to be the vice president, and I was a newcomer, and in my culture, we call that ele imango lau'ie. My sarong was not dry. I had not built any foundation in being in this role. So while I was honored, Marie was honestly upset because she felt that she deserved that role. And to be quite frank and honest, she put in the time. She earned her stripes. And we speak to the politics that exist in every space. So that evening, upsetting many who nominated me, supported me, and my family, I had hundreds of people in that room that night. I gave that back to her. And that helped us to develop a relationship that I will continue to hold dearly to my heart, because we used to call these coffee sessions. When we needed to have courageous conversations, we'd ask a board colleague, let's go have some coffee, because we should not be demonstrating some of that behavior in public, because we're leaders. We need to model leadership. So I've had some coffee conversations with Marie that helped me to learn so much about how difficult this job is. And for her to sit here for 42 years, I commend her, because I could not do it in any role. Even as a mother for all these years, 36 years, I couldn't serve in one space for that long. And she has. She has been a pillar in our community. She speaks her truth. And when others won't, she will. She will. And that's what I've learned from you, Marie. I'm very grateful for the friendship that I've been able to count on. when I've lost family members, and that's the relationship we have here. We extend our ties outside of this role. We continue the relationship in the community. And Trustee Bruswella continues to show up like that. Just like you, President Koo, she has a servant heart. She sticks to her truth, but she shows up for those in need. And that's what she's done in this district. Many times I've seen her stand alone when people don't agree with her, but because she believed that she needed to be a voice for someone in this district and in the community. And I will always respect that about her. Her unwavering support for others, especially others in need. That's true leadership to me. So for the 42 years that you have invested in my children, in our children, that you've taken away from being with your family, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being a dear friend. Thank you for being an ear. And thank you for stretching my faith in this work, because it's difficult. It's very difficult. So I wish you well during your retirement. I imagine that you will be much busier. I just see you be more busier than where you were in this seat. But congratulations to you for your amazing service to our community. I wish you well and all the best. Blessings and God bless, Marie.
Well, did you leave anything for me to say? My story actually is similar to yours. A lot of people in this room may remember that. 2011, the exact same scenario. I was brand new to the board, nominated for vice president that evening. I think we ended up having to have a 5-minute recess because it got pretty heated. So that was my start with the district, conflict with Ms. Bruswella. But over time, she became one of my biggest supporters. And there were many times that, as you mentioned, that we didn't agree. However, I always knew that Marie had the best intentions in mind. She always looked out for the things that we may not have seen. And so I'll just illuminate two things that I remember the most about Ms. Bruswella on this board. I remember her doing the things that had nothing to do with being a board member, like cooking food at events or for events. And the other thing I remember is Marie providing dance uniforms and costumes for events at the high school level. So, no matter all the back and forth conversations we had, I remember those first few years I was on the board, we would be in board meetings until midnight, and then having conversations in the parking lot afterwards when you all went home. And there were times that I actually took one for the team, and I said, okay, I'll be the one to stay here and talk with Ms. Bruswella. You all go. I mean, I could be here talking all night about stories about Trustee Bruswella. It's almost unbelievable that she's not going to be on this board anymore, to the point that she didn't believe it. And Superintendent Vidales had to remind her at one of these meetings that she didn't put her paperwork in. So I think that this board and being a trustee became Marie's identity. I can't even think about being a trustee or being on this board without thinking about Marie Bruswella. So, job well done. She deserves to go ahead and do something else. And I know that she'll still be involved in some type of way to let us know if we're missing the mark or if she's heard something that we need to hear about. And I just look forward to seeing you, Marie, in a different light and in a different position. Thank you for your 41. Now she says it was 40 or maybe 41 Now you're saying 42.
Gave her
so-
42. Let's give her 42.
Okay, we'll give her 42. So thank you.
I remember when I first met Miss Bruswella, and it wasn't related to a school event at all. It was I was volunteering with Relay for Life, and I remember I was helping to organize raffle section, and then this person was helping me out because it was a really windy day, and all the raffle tickets blew all over Westmore Field. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but I remember it very well. And then this person was coming up and said, "Oh, hey, I got all your raffle tickets," and it turned out to be Miss Bruswella, and I didn't know who she was. And she's like, "Oh yeah, she's just some person coming to an event supporting a great cause." And I was like, "Oh, awesome." And then I remember 6 months afterwards, I realized that she was on the school board, but she actually never told me she was on the school board until after that. I just want to say thank you to Ms. Bruswella, wherever you're watching, just for the years of service. I will say at times, I've been telling people that for me, a board is strongest when everyone doesn't necessarily agree, but there's always ways to find common ground, whether it's on certain school issues or certain policies, or certain approaches. I personally feel that Ms. Bruswella, even if she might not necessarily agree to everything, I'll say her opinions definitely helped, may not say change the direction, but also at the same time also helped provide a different perspective in terms of a lens, whether it was historical or certain different community group that should be involved in the process. And so I'll say in many sense, Mrs. Whala provided that sort of guidance and perspective, which I would say has made us all better board members in many sense. But I also say at the same time too, keep us accountable, especially when the people in the community may necessarily have comments or feedback for us as a board itself. So I just want to say thank you, Ms. Bruswella. Appreciate all of your years of leadership for the district and wish you all the very best, because I know that we will continue to see Ms. Bruswella in the community and volunteering in as many ways as she can.
The first time I had connected with Miss Bruswella was when I was running for this seat, and she had endorsed another candidate, but she talked to me for almost 3 hours. And after that during the conversation, almost at the end, she said to me, "You know, I think you're going to win." And I was like, "I don't know about that, but thank you for your support, even though you've endorsed someone else." And so, having had that conversation with her before I joined the board and then joining the board, she just has such a wealth of knowledge being on the board for, 40 plus years. And, she truly is a historian. She had brought up in one of our meetings something that happened, in I think it was like the 80s or the 70s, and I was like, wow, like I was not born then, but to have that wealth of knowledge and to be able to provide that perspective, I think was very beneficial to the board, especially for me being the newest member. I also had a situation where when we were voting and I got, put in as the vice president. And so it's interesting that we all had the same experience there. I will say that I respect that she stands and stood her ground. I respect that, I look forward to a day where I say what I want and I am showing up as my authentic self, also as a person of color, because I do code switch a lot as well. And so to be able to do that and not really care about how someone else is going to receive that, and just to stand your ground and be yourself, I think is something that I think all of us hopefully will get there someday. I think it's commendable to be able to do that, and there's a strength in being your authentic self all the time. So I do want to say thank you to Ms. Bruswella. I'm so sorry that you could not be here tonight. I actually was looking for you the entire time, even before we went into closed session, because this is the last meeting after 40 plus years of service, and you deserve all the recognition, all the respect, for being on the board for that long and bringing a perspective that none of us on this board, even I would say even probably the superintendent could say, for being 41 years in this district. So thank you, Ms. Bruswella, and congratulations on your retirement. So from there, we're going to Mr. Vidales.
Yeah, so I have a couple of words also for Mrs. Bruswella. So it has been 41 years of board service, and all of us know that she was involved and serving our school district for many years before that, as she will continue to serve in our school district for many years hence from today. Her experience and the history that she brings has always been appreciated. She served in some very tumultuous times. She tells stories of board meetings going till 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. Mr. Hagan, you may have been here for some of those times. And that just sounds painful to me because at 10 o'clock I turn into a pumpkin and I can't keep my eyes open if I tried. But you know, there was a lot of contentiousness, but also, you know, especially the last few years, there was a lot of times of peace and solidarity with our students and families and our staff. When Mrs. Bruswella was elected in 1981, Ronald Reagan was in his first year of his presidency. Gas prices were $1.35 average. And like Mr. Koo, Governor Jerry Brown was the governor of California, also in his second term, but this time, the first time around. So there's another point of commonality with Mrs. Bruswella. So yeah, we're gonna miss Mrs. Bruswella. She's been great to have on the board, and I think that she goes to continued public service. She was just elected to the Broadmoor Police Commission, so she's not stopping. And I'm sure that we will continue to see her. And with her, I say the same thing. I'm not saying goodbye. I'm just saying until next time, our paths will cross again. I too have some certificates for Ms. Bruswella. We'll arrange an opportunity for us to give those to her. We have a gift as well as flowers that we have to get to her before the flowers wilt. So we will make sure that she gets that. And yeah, and I know that there are still some certificates that are en route. You know, there's at least 3 more organizations that have submitted desire to provide certificates. So we'll make sure that Mr. Koo gets those as well. So thank you.
Thank you. So now I'm going to open it up to the public again. As a reminder, speakers are customarily limited to 2 minutes. We welcome your input and remarks, and please address only items within the board's jurisdiction. Do we have any speaker cards?
Some of the same speakers you may want to that spoke. You would just line up at the podium, and then we can speak.
So I too actually did not meet Trustee Bruswella in the capacity of being a trustee. I actually did not know she was a trustee as well until later on. But I met her before I was a trustee and when I was involved with the PTA. So she was always organizing the HSA event. So that's how I come to know her. Yes, she was contentious. Yes, she spoke from her heart. But we all knew where her heart came from and what she wanted to be and what she wanted to do for the community. She was always of service. You know, if we needed her to make little tuna sandwiches cut into like little squares and make like 100 of them, she would do it, and she'd wrap it all beautifully and just, you know, so whatever she needed to do for the community, she was always there. You know, regardless how we feel about her, I have much respect for her. She did always voice her opinion, sometimes in a loving way, sometimes not so loving, but you know, that's okay. We take her as she is. So thank you, Trustee Bruswella, for all your years of service. I definitely will see you around, and we will see what you have in store for us in the future. So thank you.
Yeah, Trustee Marie, are you listening? I'm sure you are. And I wanted to share something with everyone, like you were talking about the PTA. She was always involved with Maddie Fong, making those sandwiches and having the tea every year. Everybody came to, the teachers came as well. And then we know that even with the teachers and all the things that came through, where everybody came for the raises. But at the end of the day, everybody knew they could call Marie confidentially on any issue. And Marie would be the confidential person that you could call because she really cared about this district and the district is her heart. And serving that many years, you have to say that is the most important thing, that she gave everything she had to this, no matter what side of the coin you were on with her, whether it's not agreeing with her or not, it was her heart and soul that she would definitely do that. And I believe Trustee Shaquille was talking about the costumes, also at TRP as well, even up until recently, making sure that she would be there with with Brent and making sure that she attended the dance studio things, giving of herself, JFK, wherever she could give, she would give, and she still does. So I wish you well, Ms. Bruswella and Marie. I know you and Bob, and now you're doing the commissioner and not stop. So you'll be going to school events and still care about this district, and your years of service are be commended and acknowledged. And that many of us in this room, especially our teachers and staff, then the trustees have known you for many years, and Valenti as well, when he was a principal. So that goes back a little bit, but the superintendent. And I want to welcome the new superintendent. Happy to see you back. I heard that you came back from Vietnam, and it was great to see you again. Look forward to working with you. So blessings and love. Thank you.
I voted for Marie in the 80s. I just registered to vote, and I voted for her in the 80s. And then I left and lived my life a little bit, and then I came back, and there she was again. And I said, is she still on the board? But I got to know her through Jefferson Council. We served on the Jefferson Council together. She and Natty Fong were my introduction to the larger PTA, all the PTAs in the district. And I had the opportunity to sit with her at a memorial service for Daly City Patriarch, Mr. Di Natale. And we just sat and held hands and talked about life. And she reminisced a lot about her years working with the firefighters and just her service in the community. And she said she was going to miss being on the school board, but she served for a long time. But I think she needs to slow down, but she's not going to slow down. And she'll always be there for us, and we'll always be there for her. So thank you, Marie, for all of your service and your friendship.
Is there anyone else that would like to make a comment? If not, then I would just like to say thank you, Ms. Bruswella, for all your years of service. Thank you.
Cool. So that's the last item. So other than that, I will adjourn tonight's meeting at 8:57 p.m. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm going to miss it.
Please join us outside. We have some
yes.
little bundt cakes and some soft drinks. Yeah. You can go outside to get them and then bring them inside. Yeah. But you have to enjoy a little fairy tent outside. So. All right. Thank you.
I will close tonight's meeting at 8:57 p.m.
Truck around.